Bereshit, Genesis chapter 41. And it came to pass at the end of 2 full years that Pharaoh dreamed, and behold, he stood by the river. And behold, there came up out of the river 7 well-favored kine and fat-fleshed, and they fed in a meadow. And behold, 7 other kine came up after them out of the river, ill-favored and lean-fleshed, and stood by the other kine upon the brink of the river. And the ill-favored and the lean-fleshed kine did eat up the 7 well-favored and fat kine. So Pharaoh awoke, and he slept and dreamed the second time. And behold, 7 ears of grain came up upon one stalk, rank and good. And behold, 7 thin ears and blasted with the east wind sprung up after them. And the 7 thin ears devoured the 7 rank and full ears. And Pharaoh awoke, and behold, it was a dream. And it came to pass in the morning that his ruach was troubled, and he sent and called for all the magicians of Mitzrayim, and all the wise men thereof. And Pharaoh told them his dream, but there was none that could interpret them unto Pharaoh. Then spoke the chief butler unto Pharaoh, saying,
I do remember my faults this day. Pharaoh was wroth with his servants, and put me in ward in the captain of the guard's house, both me and the chief baker. And we dreamed a dream in one night, I and he. And we dreamed each man according to the interpretation of his dream. And there was there with us a young man, an Ivri, servant to the captain of the guard. And we told him, and he interpreted to us our dreams. To each man according to his dream he did interpret. And it came to pass as he interpreted to us, so it was. Me he restored unto my office, and him he hanged.
Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon. And he shaved himself, and changed his raiment, and came in unto Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph,
I have a dream, and there is none that can interpret it. And I have heard say of you, that you can understand a dream to interpret it.
And Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying,
It is not in me. Elohim shall give Pharaoh an answer of peace.
And Pharaoh said unto Joseph,
In my dream, behold, I stood upon the bank of the river, and behold, there came up out of the river 7 kine, fat-fleshed and well-favored, and they fed in a meadow. And behold, 7 other kine came up after them, poor and ill-favored, and lean-fleshed, such as I never saw in all the land of Mitzrayim for badness. And the lean and the ill-favored kine did eat up the first 7 fat kine. And when they had eaten them up, it could not be known that they had eaten them, but they were still ill-favored, as at the beginning. So I awoke. And I saw in my dream, and behold, 7 ears came up on one stalk, full and good. And behold, 7 ears withered thin, and blasted with the east wind, and sprung up after them. And the thin ears devoured the 7 good ears. And I told this unto the magicians, but there was none that could declare it to me.
And Joseph said unto Pharaoh,
The dream of Pharaoh is one. Elohim has showed Pharaoh what he is about to do. The 7 good kind are 7 years, and the 7 good ears are 7 years. The dream is one. And the 7 thin and ill-favored kind that came up after them are 7 years, and the 7 empty years blasted with the east wind shall be 7 years of famine. This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. What Elohim is about to do, he shows unto Pharaoh. Behold, there comes 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Mitzrayim. And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Mitzrayim, and the famine shall consume the land. And the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine following, for it shall be very grievous. And for that the dream was doubled unto Pharaoh twice. It is because the thing is established by Elohim, and Elohim will shortly bring it to pass. Now therefore let Pharaoh look out a man discreet and wise, and set him over the land of Mitzrayim. Let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint officers over the land, and take up the 5th part of the land of Mitzrayim in the 7 plenteous years. And let them gather all the food of those good years that come, and lay up grain under the hand of Pharaoh, and let them guard food in the cities. And that food shall be forestored to the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Mitzrayim, that the land perish not through the famine.
And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of all his servants. And Pharaoh said unto his servants,
Can we find such as one as this, a man in whom the Ruach Elohim is?
And Pharaoh said unto Yosef,
For as much as Elohim has showed you all this, there is none so discreet and wise as you are. You shall be over my house, and according to your word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than you.
And Pharaoh said unto Yosef,
See, I have set you over all the land of Mitzrayim.
And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand, and put it upon Yosef's hand, and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen, and put a gold chain about his neck. And he made him to ride in the second chariot which he had. And they cried before him,
Bow the knee!
And he made him ruler over all the land of Mitzrayim. And Pharaoh said unto Yosef,
I am Pharaoh, and without you shall no man lift up his hand, or his foot in all the land of Mitzrayim.
And Pharaoh called Yosef's name Zophnath Paneach. And he gave him to be his woman Asenath, the daughter of Potipherah, priest of On. And Yosef went out over all the land of Mitzrayim. And Yosef was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, king of Mitzrayim. And Yosef went out from the presence of Pharaoh, and went throughout all the land of Mitzrayim. And in the 7 plenteous years the earth brought forth by handfuls. And he gathered up all the food of the 7 years, which were in the land of Mitzrayim, and laid up the food in the cities. The food of the field, which was round about every city, he laid up in the same. And Yosef gathered grain as the sand of the sea very much, until he left numbering, for it was without number. And unto Yosef were born 2 sons before the years of famine, which Asenath, the daughter of Potipherah, priest of On, bore unto him. And Yosef called the name of the firstborn Manasseh.
For Elohim,
Said he,
has made me forget all my toil and all my father's house.
and the name of the second called he Ephraim.
For Elohim has caused me to be fruitful in the land of my affliction.
And the 7 years of plenteousness that was in the land of Mitzrayim were ended. And the 7 years of famine began to come, according as Yosef had said. And the famine was in all the lands. But in all the land of Mitzrayim there was bread. And when all the land of Mitzrayim was famished, the people cried to Pharaoh for bread. And Pharaoh said unto all the Mitzrayim,
Go unto Joseph, what he says to you, do.
And the famine was over all the face of the earth. And Yosef opened all the storehouses, and sold unto the Mitzrayim. And the famine waxed sore in the land of Mitzrayim. And all the countries came into Mitzrayim to El Yosef for to buy grain, because that the famine was so sore in all the lands. Bereshit, Genesis, chapter 42. Now, when Yaakov saw that there was grain in Mitzrayim, Yaakov said unto his sons,
Why do ye look one upon another?
and he said,
Behold, I have heard that there is grain in Mitzrayim. Get you down thither, and buy for us from thence, that we may live and not die.
And Joseph's 10 brethren went down to buy grain in Mitzrayim. But Benjamin, Joseph's brother, Yaakov, sent not with his brethren, for he said,
Lest perchance mischief befall him.
And the sons of Yasharel came to buy grain among those that came, for the famine was in the land of Canaan. And Joseph was the governor over the land. And he it was that sold to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brethren came and bowed down themselves before him with their faces to the earth. And Joseph saw his brethren, and he knew them, but he made himself strange unto them, and spoke roughly unto them. And he said unto them,
Whence come ye?
And they said,
From the land of Canaan to buy food.
And Joseph knew his brethren, but they knew not him. And Joseph remembered the dreams which he dreamed of them, and said unto them,
Ye are spies, to see the nakedness of the land ye are come.
And they said unto him,
Nay, my lord, but to buy food are your servants come. We are all one man's sons. We are true men. Your servants are no spies.
And he said unto them,
Nay, but to see the nakedness of the land ye are come.
And they said,
Your servants are 12 brethren, the sons of one man in the land of Canaan. And behold, the youngest is this day with our father, and one is not.
And Joseph said unto them,
That is that I spoke unto you, saying, Ye are spies. Hereby ye shall be proved. By the life of Pharaoh ye shall not go forth hence, except your youngest brother come hither. Send one of you, and let him fetch your brother. and ye shall be kept in prison, that your words may be proved, whether there be any truth in you, or else by the life of Pharaoh, surely ye are spies.
And he put them all together into ward 3 days. And Joseph said unto them the third day,
This do and live, for I fear Elohim. If ye be true men, let one of your brethren be bound in the house of your prison. Go ye, carry grain for the famine of your houses. But bring your youngest brother unto me. So shall your words be verified, and ye shall not die.
And they did so. And they said one to another,
We are truly guilty concerning our brother, in that we saw the anguish of his soul when he besought us, and we would not hear. Therefore is this distress come upon us.
And Reuben answered them, saying,
Spoke I not unto you, saying, Do not sin against the child, and ye would not hear? Therefore, behold, also his blood is required.
And they knew not that Joseph understood them, for he spoke unto them by an interpreter. And he turned himself about from them and wept, and returned to them again and communed with them, and took from them Shimon and bound him before their eyes. Then Joseph commanded to fill their sacks with grain, and to restore every man's money into a sack, and to give them provision for the way, and thus he did unto them. And he laded their asses with grain, and departed thence. And as one of them opened his sack to give his ass provender in the inn, he espied his money, for behold, it was in the sack's mouth. And he said unto his brethren,
My money is restored, and lo, it is even in my sack.
And their heart failed them. And they were afraid, saying one to another,
What is this that Elohim has done unto us?
And they came unto Jacob their father, unto the land of Canaan, and told him all that befell unto them, saying,
The man who is the Lord of the land spoke roughly to us, and took us for spies of the country. And we said unto him, We are true men, we are no spies. We be 12 brethren, sons of our father. One is not, and the youngest is this day with our father in the land of Canaan. And the man, the Lord of the country, said unto us, Hereby shall I know that ye are true men. Leave one of your brethren here with me, and take food for the famine of your households, and be gone. And bring your youngest brother unto me. Then shall I know that ye are no spies, but that ye are true men. So will I deliver you and your brother, and ye shall traffic in the land.
And it came to pass, as they emptied their sacks, that behold, every man's bundle of money was in his sack. And when both they and their father saw the bundles of money, they were afraid. And Yaakov their father said unto them,
Me have you bereaved of my children. Joseph is not, and Shimon is not, and ye will take Binyamin away? All these things are against me.
And Reuben spoke unto his father, saying,
Slay my 2 sons, if I bring him not to you. Deliver him into my hand, and I will bring him to you again.
And he said,
My son shall not go down with you, for his brother is dead, and he is left alone. If mischief befall him by the way in which ye go, then ye shall bring down my gray hairs with sorrow to Sheol.
Bereshit, Genesis chapter 43. And the famine was sore in the land. And it came to pass, when they had eaten up the grain which they had brought out of Mitzrayim, their father said unto them,
Go again, buy us a little food.
And Yehudah spoke unto him, saying,
The man did solemnly protest unto us, saying, Ye shall not see my face, except your brother be with you. If you will send our brother with us, we will go down and buy you food. But if you will not send him, we will not go down. For the man said unto us, Ye shall not see my face, except your brother be with you.
And Yashrael said,
Wherefore dealt ye so ill with me, as to tell the man whether ye had yet a brother?
And they said,
The man asked us straightly of our state and of our kindred, saying, Is your father yet alive? Have ye another brother? We told him according to the tenor of these words. Could we certainly know that he would say, Bring your brother down?
And Yehudah said unto Yashrael his father,
Send the lad with me, and we will arise and go, that we may live and not die. Both we and you, and also our little ones. I will be surety for him. Of my hand shall you require him. If I bring him not unto you, and set him before you, then let me bear the blame forever. For except we had lingered, Surely now we had returned this second time.
And their father Yashrael said unto them,
If it must be so now, do this, take of the best fruits of the land in your vessels, and carry down the man a present, a little balm and a little honey, spices and myrrh, nuts and almonds, and take double money in your hand, and the money that was brought again in the mouth of your sacks, carry it again in your hand, perchance it was an oversight. Take also your brother, and arise, go again unto the man, and El Shaddai give you mercy before the man, that he may send away your brother and Benjamin. If I be bereaved of my children, I am bereaved.
And the men took that present, and they took double money in their hand, and Benjamin, and rose up and went down to Mitzrayim, and stood before Yosef. And when Yosef saw Benjamin with them, he said to the ruler of his house,
Bring these men home, and slay, and make ready, for these men shall dine with me at noon.
And the man did as Yosef bade, and the man brought the men into Yosef's house. And the men were afraid, because they were brought into Yosef's house, and they said,
Because of the money that was returned in our sacks at the first time are we brought in, that he may seek occasion against us, and fall upon us, and take us for bondmen and our asses.
And they came near to the steward of Yosef's house, and they communed with him at the door of the house, and said,
O sir, we came indeed down at the first time to buy food, and it came to pass when we came to the inn, that we opened our sacks, and behold, every man's money was in the mouth of his sack, our money in full weight, and we have brought it again in our hand. And other money have we brought down in our hands. To buy food, we cannot tell who put our money in our sacks.
And he said,
Peace be to you. Fear not, your Elohim and the Elohim of your father has given you treasure in your sacks. I had your money.
And he brought Shimon out unto them. And the man brought the men into Joseph's house, and gave them water, and they washed their feet, and he gave their asses provender. And they made ready the present against Joseph came at noon, for they heard that they should eat bread there. And when Joseph came home, they brought him the present which was in their hand into the house, and bowed themselves to him to the earth. And he asked them of their welfare, and said,
Is your father well? The old man of whom ye spoke, is he yet alive?
And they answered,
Your servant's father is in good health. He is yet alive.
And they bowed down their heads, and made obeisance. And he lifted up his eyes, and saw his brother Benjamin, his mother's son, and said,
Is this your younger brother, of whom ye spoke unto me?
And he said,
Elohim be gracious unto you, my son.
And Joseph made haste, for his heart did yearn upon his brother. And he sought where to weep, and he entered into his chamber, and wept there. And he washed his face, and went out, and refrained himself, and said,
Set on bread.
And they set on for him by himself, and for them by themselves, and for the Mitzrayim which did eat with him by themselves, because the Mitzrayim might not eat bread with the Ibrim, for that is an abomination unto the Mitzrayim. And they sat before him, the firstborn according to his birthright, and the youngest according to his youth. And the men marveled one at another. And he took and sent messes unto them from before him. But Benjamin's mess was 5 times so much as any of theirs. And they drank and were merry with him. Bereshit, Genesis chapter 44. And he commanded the steward of his house, saying,
Fill these men's sacks with food as much as they can carry, and put every man's money in his sack's mouth, and put my cup, the silver cup, in the sack's mouth of the youngest, and his grain money.
And he did according to the word that Joseph had spoken. As soon as the morning was light, the men were sent away, and their asses. And when they were gone out of the city, and not yet afar off, Joseph said unto his steward,
Up, follow after the men, and when you do overtake them, say unto them, Wherefore have you rewarded evil for good? Is not this which my Lord drinks, and whereby indeed he divines? Ye have done evil in so doing.
And he overtook them, and he spoke unto them these same words. And they said unto him,
Wherefore says my Lord these words? Far be it from your servants should do according to this thing. Behold, the money which we found in our sack's mouth, we brought again unto you out of the land of Canaan. How then should we steal out of your Lord's house silver or gold? With whomsoever your servant it be found, let him die, and we also will be my Lord's bondmen.
And he said,
Now also let it be according to your words. He with whom it is found shall be my servant, and ye shall be blameless.
Then they speedily took down every man his sack to the ground, and opened every man his sack. And he searched, and began at the eldest, and left the youngest, and the cup was found in Benjamin's sack. Then they rent their clothes, and laded every man his ass, and returned to the city. And Yehudah and his brethren came to Joseph's house, for he was yet there, and they fell before him on the ground. And Joseph said unto them,
What deed is this that ye have done? Know ye not that such a man as I can certainly divine?
And Yehudah said,
What shall we say unto my lord? What shall we speak? Or how shall we clear ourselves? Elohim has found out the iniquity of your servants. Behold, we are my lord's servants, both we and he also with whom the cup is found.
And he said,
Far be it that I should do so. But the man in whose hand the cup is found, he shall be my servant. And as for you, get you up in peace unto your father.